Hello and welcome to the Philippines. There's a Dutchman who goes around the world putting on free pancake dinners, and he was in Cebu City on Saturday, September 29th. They were expecting right around 1,000 people to come in. It's kind of, you didn't have to buy any tickets or anything. You just show up, and they're making pancakes as fast as they can. I think it was from 8 to 5 p.m. They did have an evening event scheduled also, but I believe that evening was scheduled. Might have been a conflict with something else going on there. But there they are, making those pancakes, and they were very good. He has put these on all over the world. I think like 450 different locations across the world, north to south, east to west. And he was very busy. I talked to him real briefly. I didn't get to find out more details about it. I found out about it from a subscriber who is in town for a couple of months, and he found out about it from I think a Cebu expats Facebook group. That's one place you might find some resource materials as well. There are a number of different Philippine expats clubs on Facebook and other websites. Plaza Independencia gets a lot of activity down there. Lots of Filipinos go down there, lots of different people doing Zumba and different dance routines as groups. Anyway, it's a big gathering place, especially on weekends. Right next door to Fort San Pedro and very close to Pier 1 as well. And here's a plaque that is in the park about martial law. I believe Fort San Pedro was built by the Spanish back in the 1500s, and it's been rebuilt a number of times. Originally it was wood and burned, and they eventually rebuilt it, I think, a couple different times. And anyway, it's got lots of interesting things inside, pictures, historical information, and cost 30 pesos a piece, about 60 US cents to get in and go around. Some days they have free tour guides, usually students from the universities around there that come in and volunteer, and will kind of tell you what it's all about. Anyway, a couple of different rooms with lots of very, very old pictures and historical information. Pretty interesting to read about some of those past events. Magellan's Cross is within a walking distance of here, not very far at all, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 blocks or so. And you've got Pier 1 down there where a lot of the passenger ferries come in. Some passenger ferries come into the other piers as well, but they're also relatively close. And then you're very near the Cologne Street area, the whole old downtown area. Cologne Street being said to be the oldest street in the Philippines, named street, I guess. So I find that area interesting. I probably come down there a couple times per month, and very close to Carbone, the huge Carbone public market area. Vegetables, meats, fruits, clothing, hardware, many different types of things that come in, and usually you can get a pretty good bargain down there. Not always. Some people will quote you the foreigner price, and then I've had a couple times where I've been with friends and they understood that we were being quoted for instance, on a pair of shoes, a foreigner price. So then we went just a few blocks to the downtown Cologne Street area and found what they wanted. The shoes there quite a bit less than what they wanted in Carbone Market. So you should just be aware of those types of things. There's room to haggle, to negotiate. If you have the time and energy and are inclined to do so. It is amazing, these replicas of ships that they have here. You know, I've seen on YouTube, I've seen videos of our huge ships and tanker and cargo ships and container ships that go across the ocean and getting battered by storms out there. And just imagine these relatively small ships and all the manpower that it would take to run that operation. Just really amazing when you think about that. I think I read an article recently that even today, with all of our great ships, and of course some are much smaller than others, but even with all the technology, that still they lose, I forget how many, they lose a ship or several ships a year to storms out there. And I believe I read once that during World War II in the Pacific, that the U.S. Navy lost more ships to storms than they did to the enemy. And don't remember where I read that, and I can't give you reference material about that, but that's kind of stuck in my mind. There are tour companies in town, so you can sign up for tours to take you around to the different areas. There are large buses that you'll see parked in the various places, and so there are larger groups and there are smaller groups. Personally, I would prefer a smaller group, but every tour company is a little bit different. So best to ask for recommendations from either other foreigners or your hotel staff. They should have contact information with a number of different tour companies. And also, for your information, down in the center courtyard area down here, you can rent that for your wedding. Some of you might be interested in that. We are up on the second level here, and so it's mostly a walkway area, but lots of cannons set up. They're not working cannons, and but it is interesting. This was on a Saturday, and this group of people looked like they were filming. It looked like they were doing a little reenactment and or putting on a little movie, producing a movie type of thing, and dressed up in different costumes. And I understand that these towers here, a number of towers around the perimeter, were used to store ammunition, I believe. And so you have a basically on the second level, you've got a pretty large walk area. You can go all the way around. You're walking up above the walls themselves. And then down to the right is the large opening, the plaza area type, like a plaza, not the plaza. And then we're back to the entrance exit area. So anyway, thank you for coming along. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and we'll see you next time.